We're getting ready for UFC 143. We're out here at Mandalay Bay, and one of the guys on the card with myself, Steve Cofield, is Scott Jorgensen. How are you?
I'm doing good, man.
Exciting stuff coming up. I want to get into the fight in a couple of minutes, but I'm really intrigued. I was reading a little bit about your son. We saw him in, I think it was a blog maybe last year. Cute little guy, rambunctious, right? But you're kind of putting his energy towards, not exactly MMA yet, but he is starting to do some of the elements.
Yeah, no, he's a very hyperactive kid. He's always on the go, and we have at my gym, Combat Fitness back home, we have kids wrestling. Starting them at the youngest age they can, all the way up through high school and stuff like that. We have the freestyle stuff, and also kids jiu-jitsu and kids MMA classes. In the kids MMA classes, the kids jiu-jitsu is all traditional gi stuff, but the kids MMA classes are our biggest class at our gym, and we've got roughly about 25 kids enrolled in it, and it's literally they learn everything about the sport. They learn how to box, how to kickbox, how to do takedowns, how to submit, things like that. They never spar. They have certain physical attributes they have to reach, like certain number. My son's 6. He cranked out 4 pull-ups. He needed 1, but my son, he's a very driven little kid. He cranks out 4 pull-ups on his own and 25 plus push-ups, and ran a half a mile to get his orange belt the other week. So they got a physical component, and we tie it back in with school and home life. So I think it's awesome. I don't push my son. Like, literally, it's hey, what are we doing today? What do you want to do? And it's like, I want to go to kids class. All right. So, but I think it's awesome for him. It gives him something to do besides, sit around in the house, play video games or something, which is I'm guilty of. So. If it wasn't for training, I'd do the same thing. So
what do you tell parents? Obviously the parents are open to it when they bring them in, but how often do you have to convince parents, like, hey, it's safe and it's going to lead to something good and this is not dangerous?
There's not a lot of, verbal convincing we need to do. They sit down, and we built bleachers in our gym and stuff so parents can sit down and watch kids class, stuff like that, and we have a free week. So the parents are coming in and sitting down watching class, seeing our instructors work with the kids and what they're doing, that they're not out there sparring. The most closest thing they'll do to sparring is just live, either wrestling situations or jiu-jitsu situations. So the kids do well with it. We've never had a problem with, parents come back and said, saying, Brayton's punching kids at school. It's the kids understand it's a sport and there's a time and a place to compete, and they're not old enough to compete, so we don't have to worry about it too much.
That was a good point you just made. So you can kind of channel their aggression a little bit. You also teach them that fighting is not cool at school. Because I think the worry would be, hey, we're teaching them to fight, so now they're going to be lunatics at school and beat the hell out of other kids.
Yeah, and in college it kind of works like this. In college I used to get in fights quite a bit. I was one of the better wrestlers on the team and at the school, and I had a big name, and I was a small guy, and a lot of people wanted to test me, and so I got in fights a lot in college. And as soon as I started fighting and MMA training and stuff, that kind of went to the back. People trying to instigate stuff, and it's just like, man, I don't want to do it. I don't care to prove how tough I am to you. If I'm going to fight, I'm going to make money and stuff like that. So with the kids, I think as they learn that they're capable of this and learn the sport, they understand. I don't need to prove myself, and parents bring them in for self-defense, and I think they quickly learn it's not just about self-defense. It's kind of a little mini lifestyle. These kids come in and the kids are so excited for my fight this weekend. I'm leaving and I got kids giving me high fives saying, we'll be watching, parents saying, I've watched more MMA in the last 6 months than I ever thought I would in my life. So it's a cool thing,
The fight coming up, interesting opponent because he's 27-1. Listen, we don't know all the quality of his fights. My question all the time with a lot of the Brazilian fighters, obviously, most of them can strike. They've got a jiu-jitsu background. Do they have takedown defense? So watching Barao, do we think he has it or not?
He may have some takedown defense against lesser opponents, but I'm not what he's fought before. I come in with a really stiff wrestling background. I still wrestle daily with NCAA. One of my buddies, NCAA runner-up, Andrew Hochstrasser, and Joe Warren, Jesse Brock. I'm wrestling every day, still helping out at Boise State, and he's never fought anybody that can take guys down. And not only can I take guys down, I can hold them there. I can stay safe, and I can ground and pound heavy, and I hit hard. So, it's a different dynamic for him. He's also never fought anybody that's in the top 5 or, that's fought the fights that I have and can keep a pace that I can, and that's the thing that is going to be the most surprising for him is the pace that I'll keep for the whole fight. So, You know, they can talk about his 27 and whatever record. I don't care. It's a fight.
And you're driven because right now the 135. I mean, it is a logjam behind these guys, behind Cruz. You got your shot, so that's another complicating factor. That you know, you're going to have to do something kind of special here, get on another win streak. You've won 7 of 8, but it's like you have to go above and beyond to get that second chance.
Yeah, I'm not too worried. You know, like I did in the WEC. You know, I'll sit there and fight till they think I'm ready, till they make that decision that I'm the next one. So, you know, first fight's Cruz, or you know. The next fight's Hanan, and then I'll worry about the rest after that. You know, it's not my job to worry about that. It's my job to train, get better, go out there, put on a show, and have some fun. So and I'm doing well with it right now. So I'm not too worried about, you know, contesting and protesting for, you know, I won this fight. You know, I want to fight for the belt next. I need to fight for the belt next. You know, because all in all, it's not going to do much. You know, I just got to take care of business in the cage, and everything sorts itself out, and that's it. So I learned that a long time ago.